All across America, incredibly talented artisans are making amazing objects the old-fashioned way, by hand. On this episode of Handcrafted America, we're making things thinner, smaller, and tighter.
Oh wow, it's tiny.
A boat builder in Maryland changed course when he found a stockpile of precious lumber. That's when he began making luminarias.
Ambiance of the glow at night is just so soothing.
In Pennsylvania, a watchmaker wants to do things the way they used to be done, once upon a time.
We like making things the old way, things that last.
When he was young, this Idahoan thrilled to the sights and sounds of a whip on the big screen. Now, he's passing that thrill to the next generation.
I am living the dream I had as a kid.
We're reining things in and trimming off the excess.
We're going thinner, people. The wood in this pile is over 500 years old, and they may look weathered and worn, but these old boards are about to get a bright new future.
In Annapolis, Maryland, Alan Cady is known for his handcrafted luminarias. But before the luminarias, Alan spent most of his life handcrafting boats.
I started working at Trumpy's Boatyard in Annapolis, which is a very famous yacht yard, building wooden yachts for the rich and famous. And it's there that I first got the bug of working with wood.
Does some of that skill, boat building, shipbuilding, does it play into this?
Oh, definitely. If you can build a boat, you can build anything. Because a boat doesn't have a straight line in it. It has curves all over the place, so you're constantly thinking about how things go together. So once you acquire those skills, you can build most anything.
Alan drifted away from boat building, but never lost that connection to the sea. 12 years ago, he was kayaking in Baltimore and came upon a treasure trove of old wood.
Canton Marine Terminal was built in 1903. It was abandoned back in the 60s, and it was never totally demolished. They took the structure off of it and just left the deck of it, which was built, oddly enough, out of some incredible heart pine lumber, which is some of the finest timber you'll find in North America. And I knew that I wanted to get my hands on some of that.
And that's just what he did. After 2 years of negotiating with local officials, he won the salvage rights and started bringing the wood home.
And put it on that flatbed.
Put it on trucks and
brought it home?
And brought it home, yeah.
And what did your wife say?
I'm not sure. I think I tuned out what she was saying at that point of time.
The wood looks aged and dull on the outside, but the treasure is the golden heartwood on the inside.
So we're going to the sawmill, and we're going to see if there's a lamp inside this beam.
We use the portable bandsaw mill to cut the heart pine. The luminescence of a lamp is determined by the resin content of the wood.
How do you know if it has resin or not?
Well, I can tell because if I pick a beam up, one with resin weighs about twice as much. This wood is very, very rare. It's not available anymore. And some of this wood, about every 30 or 40 beams, is so dense in resin that the light will shine through it.
The trick is to cut the wood thin enough to pass light, but not so thin that it's brittle.
We're going thinner, people.
Alan uses a planer to shave the slices down even more. He often makes 5 or 6 passes through the planer before he gets it just right.
You know what I wish? I wish that all of you at home could smell this. It smells so good.
Next, Alan needs to make a frame for the heart pine. He routes slots into pieces of walnut wood.
And why don't we use heart pine throughout the whole thing?
Well, it looks better with contrasting woods.
Yeah.
But I've also used mahogany and cherry. What we have are the frame and panel pieces, and these are the heart pine that we just planed down, cut to length. So basically, we take 2 of the rails, and we're going to sandwich this, the stiles and the panel between them.
These are called stiles.
Yes, and these are the rails.
Fit perfectly.
And we put
in
this
there.
in my little assembly jig like this.
Okay.
We would glue these together, and then we shim them nice and tight, and then we just let the glue cure. And when it's finished, this is what we're going to have.
Ta-da.
The top of the luminarias are made from rice paper adhered to clear plastic with shellac.
So now we're going to apply some shellac.
What is shellac? What is
shellac.
that?
Shellac
It's fun
is
to
an
say,
extrusion of the lac beetle.
Huh?
A lac beetle is a bug that burrows into trees and leaves an extrusion on the outside. It's mainly done, I think, in India. And then they take that extrusion and they process it into different kinds of shellac. So this is what we're doing, is
beetle juice?
we're putting bug juice on here.
While the shellac dries, we oil the wood with a citrus tung oil combo to make the grain really pop. Then we just have to turn it into a lamp.
We have a line cord, a line switch, an LED bulb, and we have a little light socket. And we just assemble those, and that's it.
The luminarias cost from $300 to $500 depending on size.
I only have probably 40 beams out there that transmits light like this. So when that's gone, it's gone.
Oh, you took that old abandoned wood in that pile and you turned it into this. And that is brilliant.
Each of these timepieces seems to have its own beating heart inside.
When you first put a watch together and it ticks for the first time and comes to life, that's a pretty satisfying moment.
William Penn, the founder of Pennsylvania, once said, "Time is what we want most, but what we use worst." Well, I found a watchmaker outside of Philadelphia that is making the most of his time.
In Mount Joy, Pennsylvania, Roland Murphy is single-handedly bringing back American watchmaking. His studio hosts a small team of talented watchmakers with very steady hands. Their custom timepieces are a real blast from the past.
In the old days, 100 years ago or more, everything was made to last. That's just how you took pride in your work. That's how I wanted to make watches.
Roland fell for watchmaking as a teenager working at a clock company. He later studied in the prestigious Wo-Step training program in Switzerland.
So I learned a lot about how watches go together. And then I realized that I wanted to do things differently. And so in 1992 is when I started the first RGM project.
RGM, which stands for Roland G. Murphy. He and his team are the only watchmakers in the country creating 90% of their parts in-house. They make fewer than 100 watches a year.
We like being a small sort of niche company doing special things, making things the old way, things that last.
One of your watches has how many pieces in it?
Probably our most popular movement that we make here in the building has 105 pieces.
And small, tiny pieces
yes.
in one watch, and you make 90% of those pieces?
Yes, we do. Being a watchmaker, you want to build your own watch. You want to make your own movement. And that's what sets us apart and makes us different.
You keep saying movement. What does movement mean?
That's the mechanism, the little motor inside of a watch. And we
Okay.
only make mechanical watches. The ones that we build here are manual wind. This is old school. So let me show you one of those. This is our 801A, or aircraft. This has our movement in it. On the back here, you can see is the movement. This is all hand-built and hand-finished here in our building.
That is incredible. It's breathing. It's like it's alive. There's a
It
heartbeat
is.
there.
There's a certain feeling when you first put a watch together and it ticks for the first time and comes to life. That's a pretty satisfying moment.
We start by cutting one of 6 wheels that will go into this watch.
So what he's doing is he's going in and out with a cutter. We'll go to the next notch, make another pass in, and that way we are going all the way around the wheel, and then we'll go a little deeper, go around again until we get the full depth of each tooth.
And why can't you just cut each tooth on the first pass?
Well, we could, but we wouldn't get a good finish on the teeth. It would be hard on the cutter.
I mean, this is such a slow, meticulous process.
Not to mention tiny. In fact, it's so tiny that Roland has to fit me with what's called a loop so I can see what I'm doing.
First thing we're going to do is we're going to have you turn the crank here and turn it clockwise. There you go. Just keep cranking. It's going to go in. Now you can back up, take it all the way out. Now, you're going to turn this to the next red notch. Now, crank in again, and we're just going to continue to do that for several teeth.
Cutting the teeth for this one wheel could take an experienced watchmaker about a half an hour.
Roland, this is gonna take me
That's good.
forever. I wanna see what this is gonna look like.
I have one here I can show you.
Okay.
So let me turn it off here. And here is what the teeth would look like.
Oh, wow. It's tiny, itty bitty.
So this is the crown wheel for the 801.
Okay.
And you can see all those little teeth going all around. Now that's at full depth.
That would be many, 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 many more times around there.
Absolutely.
Now that I've seen how small these pieces are, I'm really curious how hard it's gonna be to put them all together.
It would take me 5 years to build one watch.
In Mount Joy, Pennsylvania, Roland Murphy and the RGM Watch Company are writing a new chapter in the history of American watchmaking.
We like stories with our watches. For instance, our chess watch, it was inspired by a watch that was made for Paul Morphy in 1859. Paul Morphy was the greatest chess player of his era. And there was a watch given to him that inspired us to make a wristwatch with that same aesthetic. It's an interesting story, and it's an American story.
A story like Roland's. His watches and almost all of the components are made right here in his shop. We've spent a lot of time making a tiny little piece, one of 105 tiny little pieces for this watch. Now we're moving on to another tiny little piece.
We have a nickel silver plate, and in here what we're going to do is we're going to show making one part, and it's the barrel bridge. And this is a raw barrel bridge here.
The barrel houses the watch's main spring. That's the part that keeps the watch ticking when it's wound. The barrel bridge holds the barrel in place. A computer-controlled milling machine creates the initial shape in the nickel.
It's important that the watches be technically correct and accurate. We have to have that precision, but they also have to be beautiful. He's doing decorative lines on top of the bridge. And he'll progressively go a little bit deeper as he needs to get proper finish on there.
Again, this is like one of those processes that I feel like it's so painstakingly slow.
It's detail work, it really is.
Yeah.
Once the barrel bridge is fully decorated, Roland's team adds the tiniest pins you've ever seen to attach it to the barrel. Next, we need to add a jewel, but not for decoration. This jewel has a job to do.
These are jewels that are basically forming a hard bearing surface. So they're reducing friction and wear. That has nothing to do with jewelry or
Nothing
anything
to do
like
with the
that.
look of it.
No, it's strictly to improve the quality of the movement and how long it will last.
Once all 105 parts have been carefully constructed, putting it all together is even more painstaking.
I pulled out a movement here for you. There you go.
No, you know what this reminds me of? Is that game you used to play when you were little, and if it beep if you touch the
where
sun?
you're a surgeon.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got
You're
one.
doing watch surgery now.
It would take me 5 years to build one watch.
Now, just grab this crown and wind the watch.
It just feels like that little guy came to life.
It did. You're wound up. Good job.
Roland adds the face, and now all we need are some hands.
Now we have a little bit of time sensitivity here. We're going to take the hour hand around to exactly 12. Then we're going to put the minute hand on fairly quickly so the hour hand isn't moving away from 12.
Is
so
this
that
some
everything
sort of a
lines
cruel
up.
joke that you're playing on
not.
me?
The watch had to be wound to check the movement before we could put the hands on. So essentially, the watch is already keeping time. So I have 60 seconds to place the minute hand, or it will be out of sync with the hour hand and it won't tell time properly.
You did it. Turn it and set the time.
We will set the time right there. It's almost, you know what time it is?
No, I don't.
It's almost quitting time.
It takes about 8 months to make this watch. Prices range from $7,400 to over $100,000.
What would you do after?
Well, we would put it in the case, and we would cut the stem to length, put on a crown.
Okay.
We would check the movement, make a few adjustments for timing.
All that's left is adding the glass top and bottom and attaching the watch bands.
And then we would end up with a watch.
8 months and 105 parts later, and this is what we get. With his American spirit and love of detail and mechanics, Roland Murphy builds watches that stand the test of, well, you know.
So I thought, I braid my hair all the time. How hard can it be to braid leather for a whip?
Reach through, grab the top lace, pull tight, lay it in place. Switch hands. Reach through, grab the top lace, pull it tight, lay it in place.
You hear that sound? That is what motivated our next artisan to become one of the top whip makers in the world.
Just outside of Spokane is Otis Orchards, Washington. This is where a man is living out a childhood ambition.
Riding a horse, cracking a whip, hey, it's every boy's dream, right? I got my first whip when I was 10 years old. And when I was 13 years old, parents gave me a very small loan to go buy my first piece of leather, and I started making whips.
Joe learned everything he could about handcrafting cowboy whips. He even met with David Morgan, the whip maker for the first Indiana Jones movie.
And gave me some very good advice on how to develop a good whip.
Years later, Joe's whips were featured in the 4th movie of the Indiana Jones franchise.
I am proud of my work, always striving for perfection.
What's a good crack of the whip sound like?
A good sharp crack. It is a small sonic boom, so it'll sound almost like a rifle shot.
So when you crack the whip, it's moving faster than sound?
The end of this whip is breaking the sound barrier, yes.
I want to hear what that is supposed to sound like.
Okay.
That's intense. Okay. Do you think you could teach me how to do that?
Sure. Swing up, down.
That was like a baby crack.
Today, we're making a classic American bullwhip. Cowboys use these to drive their herds. The sound guides the animals to where they need to go.
So we're gonna start with the handle. That is this 8-inch spike and a piece of kip. Kip comes from a cow, but it's an immature animal. They haven't grown and developed, they don't have a real thick hide yet. It's slightly bigger than a calf, smaller than a full-size animal.
A tapered strip of cowhide is attached to the handle. It helps define its final shape and weight.
And what is that you're wrapping?
This is waxed thread, but it just makes it easier, holds everything in place until we start braiding.
Now we need to start cutting strands for the whip from a leather down under.
All of my whips I make are kangaroo.
Why do you use kangaroo?
Kangaroo is very, very thin as it comes off the animal, and it has incredible strength. This little lace right here is about 1/8 of an inch wide, almost impossible to break in the hands.
Whips are constructed in layers. Each braided layer makes the whip stronger and more dense.
We're gonna cut the first belly.
A belly is a piece of leather cut into thin strips.
How do you keep it so even all the way around? I guess you've been doing
I've
this a while.
hundreds of thousands of feet of lace.
Joe stretches the belly to make it more stable for braiding.
You'll feel most of that stretch come out.
All of the leather is run through a splitter to even out the thickness.
That determines the weight, the shape, and the taper of the whole whip. And so you have to start right.
If you don't get this part
If
right,
you mess
got
up
a
here,
bad
it's
whip.
gonna ruin the whole whip.
Okay.
The stretch belly is layered on top of the handle we started earlier and wrapped with the waxed thread.
This is the braiding soap. There you go.
Quite a nice scent.
With a little bit of fat mixed in.
What kind of fat? Who's fat?
It comes from sheep. We soap up the laces. All of this is to make the laces slip when we pull them, to get a good, firm, dense braid. So the proper method of braiding, everything is held in the palm of the hand with your thumb and forefinger holding that last lace in place. And we're gonna reach through, grab the top lace, pull tight, lay it in place. Switch hands. Reach through, grab the top lace, pull it tight, lay it in place. And not to make you feel bad, but a good whip maker can do between 45 and 60 pulls a minute.
A minute?
A minute.
Remember how I said whips are constructed in layers? Joe is crafting a whip within a whip within a whip. He braids another layer of laces over the existing one and continues. Then he does it all over again with another piece of leather called an overlay.
No idea how we're gonna braid this.
This is the outside layer of the whip. Now he's braiding 12 laces. Joe adds a strong tapered strip of cowhide to the end of the whip. It's called a fall.
The fall continues the taper of the whip down to a very fine point, and we're ready to roll it.
Leaning in as hard as he can, Joe rolls the whip under a wooden block to smooth out any rough edges.
It also compresses and compacts everything. It makes it very dense.
He applies multiple coats of shellac to create a nice finish.
Next step is to tie the popper on. That's what makes it go boom.
It's the most important part.
Joe's whips range in price from $550 to $3,000. A polypropylene popper is tied to the very end of the whip, and now it's ready to crack. Joe's 11-year-old son, Joe Jr., is already cracking whips like a pro. He's ready to carry on his dad's legacy.
Joe's whips are everything they're cracked up to be.
For these artisans, smaller, thinner, and tighter is just better.
It's cut pretty thin, but not thin enough.
Of course, less can also be a lot more complicated.
Anytime you make things smaller, everything becomes more difficult.
As you add more and more strands, it makes sense. It doesn't make it any simpler, but it'll make sense.
Yet, no matter the size, shape, or width of the finished package, these products and the artisans who make them make a huge impact.